Hey, in this video, I'm going to talk about my perspective on why I feel like YouTube can be so overwhelming when you're getting started, when you're building a channel from scratch, or even just kind of reinventing a channel you already have. So maybe this is you and you're starting a new channel, or you have a channel that you're trying to build and you just feel a little overwhelmed. And let me talk about some of the reasons why that might be happening. First, there's too many moving parts. Often we feel like we have to have everything together and we got to be able to, edit and shoot and light and have good audio and all these things. There's just so many different moving parts when it comes to making YouTube videos and trying to live up to what we're watching on YouTube every day. But I think that can really trip us up and cause us to think about the things that we don't really need to think about when we're starting out. And that's really workflow and trying to figure out how can I make videos and make content and be able to share what I want to share, but also be able to teach what I want to teach or make the videos I want to make. You got to have a good workflow. And without a workflow, we're constantly guessing and we're trying to figure out what we need to be doing, what we need to make better. How can I make the slides like this? How can I edit a video like this? And instead, we focus on that and we feel this pressure to be everywhere and everything at once. And the reality is we need to be exactly who we are and share what we need to share, but have a system in place that allows us to do that without having an overwhelmed feeling. And that's why I think putting a system in place to help your channel grow and help you produce videos is so important. And I think most creators struggle with thoughts like, I hate how I look and sound on camera. And that might be something you're dealing with. That's something I've dealt with before. I've had more experience than just this channel being on camera. And so that I've kind of gotten used to my voice and the way I look and talk and all that kind of thing. But I know that's something that's in people's heads. Also, I feel like I see a lot of comments that talk about editing just taking forever. They don't know where to start. They might record something, but then how do I make it look good? How do I cut out all the things that don't need to be there and make it as valuable for the viewer as possible. Also, people want to grow, but they feel stuck. So they want to get better at making videos for YouTube and building their channel, but they're just stuck. They're not sure where to go. There's obviously a lot of courses out there and other YouTube videos out there to help them grow. But sometimes, like Sean Cannell says, analysis paralysis. And so sometimes you just analyze and you're just watching all these videos and then you get kind of frozen in time and you don't know what to do. So that's another struggle that some creators have. And then also there's this, I think, just an inherent thought that only big creators can make good videos. And you watch some of their videos and you just think to yourself, there's no way I can produce that. There's no way I can make that. I can't edit like that. I can't sound like that. And I don't look like that or whatever it might be. It's not just the big channels and the big creators that can produce quality. And that's something that other creators struggle with as well. So those problems to me are system problems. They are not personal flaws. They're not things that we need to internalize. They're a part of a system. You get better speaking on camera and the way you look and the facial expressions and just how you carry yourself by doing it and being in a system that produces videos. So this is a system issue. I think that oftentimes we go onto YouTube and we're looking at some of the other creators that we follow, or we're searching for something specific and we're looking for motivation, right? We're thinking of how can I get motivated to make this next video and what do I need to get? And even when we're making lists of video titles and ideas and things that we might want to make, we lack the motivation. And I think that motivation is not equal to sustainability. I think motivation comes and goes. And sometimes you have to produce stuff when you're not motivated. And I'll say, just being honest, if you watched my previous video or two videos ago, I talked about how I started this channel 2 months ago and I took a 4-week gap essentially because I didn't have the motivation, whatever, to produce the videos because I just felt like it wasn't growing and, there's just issues there. But the reality is I didn't have a system in place. I just was going off of motivation. That's what started this channel. And the reality is I need to create a system. So that's what I'm starting to do, is create that system that can bring that sustainability into the channel and to the videos and to what I'm offering you as a viewer. And so motivation is unpredictable, like I said, and systems are reliable. That's what we need to understand here. Systems reduce decision fatigue. So when you have a system in place, you don't have to make all these decisions because everything's already kind of lined up. You already have this process in place. so you don't have to make every decision over and over again. Systems also build momentum. And I think that's the key here for new channels, is if you can build a system from the start, from the ground up, from the beginning of your channel, then it builds that momentum, because you're not looking at all the analytics. You're not looking at some of the stuff that I was looking at after 4 weeks of starting. You're just processing the system. You're just going through that system and producing what you need to produce and doing what you need to do. And it builds that momentum. And you don't even really have to worry about it. Also, systems can or make creation repeatable. And so I've already kind of touched on that. When you have a good system in place, you can continually repeat that process over and over again and continue to make better and better videos. So I keep talking about a system, and what does a creator system look like? Well, here's a few things that I think are a part of creating a system for you, and you can take these and apply them to your channel. But first is weekly content planning. So I think you got to spend, at least an hour planning your content. Maybe the videos need a little bit more. Some videos will take a lot more research. Some will take less, just depending on what the topic is. But you need to have a time every week where you at least spend an hour planning, especially if you're just doing one video a week. If you're doing more videos a week, then you might need a little bit more time. So adjust that accordingly. I keep hitting this, sorry. Adjust that accordingly, but at least have a content planning time. And then the second thing is to batch film. And I know you've heard this from other YouTubers. Batch film your videos. That just allows you to get videos knocked out of the way, and then the editing doesn't seem so big, and you're able to kind of breathe a little bit in between filming days. So batch 1 to 2 videos each session. So if you're doing once a week, like if you're uploading or I guess posting once a week on YouTube, maybe shoot 2 videos. So every other week you have a filming day. That way you're not having to film every week, and maybe that's just a little much on your schedule. Try to film a couple videos, or even if you can get 4 videos done and do a whole month, that's fantastic. So try to batch film. Also, I would say batch edit. So do it with repeatable templates and things that you can use, whether they're presets or templates that you purchase, or setting up your own templates within software. And that's something I'll show you guys down the road of how I do that. But batch editing. So that way, maybe you spend X amount of hours, 2 hours or 3 hours this week editing those 2 videos, and they're done. And then you can upload them and kind of, publish them on the right time or schedule them to be posted at the right time. And then you're done with it. You don't have to worry about it. You can start working on planning for the next videos. Don't just do one video and try to sit there and polish it until you don't have anything else to do and then go on to the next video. Try to batch edit. It just keeps things moving a little quicker because you have to do multiple videos. The fourth thing that makes, I think, an important creator system is 1% micro improvement every video. So basically just what can you do 1% better in the next video? So this process, the system will take, it'll take some time for you to be able to analyze the videos you've created, whether it's I need to be 1% better on my lighting, or I need to be 1% better in my script writing and the way I'm laying out, the hook or whatever. Just 1% micro adjustments and improvements. That is how you're going to build a sustainable and repeatable system with your YouTube channel. You cannot just jump straight to the top level million subscriber type channels. That's just not going to happen. So just focus on small micro improvements, and that will get you a long way. And then the final thing that I feel like needs to be a part of a system is some sort of energy management routine. And what I mean by this is figure out when you have energy. For me, particularly, I kind of most of the time have Fridays off. And I have 5 kids, a wife, and, so much going on, but they're in school on Friday morning. I have Friday off. And so my energy level in the morning is high, like I'm ready to go. And so that is usually the day that I'm batch filming. And so that's something you got to figure out is where is your energy level? How do I manage my energy and how I feel, if I feel excited to film or when I don't feel excited to film, when I'm kind of dragging. Don't try to film in those times. Try to literally pay attention to how you act and what you feel throughout the week and plan accordingly and set up those repeated times to be able to film or edit or whatever when you have the energy to do it. That is a huge deal, because if you just wait until it's way late at night and maybe you're not a night person and you're struggling to feel like you want to keep doing it, then you're going to start looking at all the things and all the reasons why you shouldn't do it and why you should stop. So definitely try to figure out your energy and be able to manage that system and implement that into the system. All right, so what exactly is the system that I am trying to make for myself and also maybe for you guys in the future? And that's something I'm calling the creator system. And that's basically my framework that I'm putting together. So what that looks like is, number one, foundation. And I will go deeper into this in another video, but essentially the foundation is how you set up your channel. What are the things you need to do? What are the right steps, the keywords, all the things that you need to do or steer clear of to be able to create a very polished and niched down YouTube channel so that you can get the right viewers and the right audience for your channel. The second thing is weekly workflow. And I kind of talked about it a little bit before with energy, but you need to set up a weekly workflow. You set up your schedule. When do you edit? When do you film? When do you work on, research and just planning videos, that kind of stuff? You need to get into a workflow, into that system so that you can have something sustainable and you know what you are expected to do from yourself and how long it's going to take. And then you don't have to worry about any of the other things that are going on. You're able to do that every week. And the third part of the system is the micro improvement. And I talked about that, but there's going to be specific tasks, specific things that help you in my system that help you identify the adjustments you need to make, but also keep you accountable to make those adjustments. And so you'll list them out. There's a whole process to be able to list them out and, check them off if you completed it. Did you actually make this better or did it not really work? And it just helps you analyze that and move that, 1% forward each video you're doing it, instead of just conceptually thinking I needed to be 1% better. This actually puts some pen to paper, some things down that help you analyze that yourself so that you actually do move 1% better and each video gets a little bit better. The fourth part of the creator system is energy and mindset. And so this is going to really kind of be some coaching and some understanding of who you are and helping you figure out the mindset shift that you need to have as a new YouTuber, or your channel's young or just trying to grow it. You're going to have some mindset shifts, but also understand the energy level and the things that you need to put your energy to. And then the last part of it is when to scale. And so it's really about scaling later. And I'll kind of put some things together that help you understand what are some milestones you need to be aware of for scaling. Like whether that's when you get to the point, let's say your channel just keeps growing and going faster. When do you need to hire an editor, or when do you need to outsource, the business side of things, or whatever it might be? It's all about scaling, but not putting that in front of you right now because you're trying to grow the channel and just build the correct audience. But you do need to have some sort of pathway and understanding for the future on when to scale. So I wanted to just talk about the system that I'm trying to create for myself, but also how you can maybe implement some of this yourself for your channel. And I think that the shift that I'm getting in my channel as I'm starting to dive into this is just the idea of having less stress and more structure. So without the structure, I just feel stressed to be able to try to get all the videos done in time and in the way I need them to. And I'm trying to get rid of that. Also, less guessing. I mentioned that earlier. There's more clarity when I have a whole system in place. I understand when and how I'm going to do videos and research and make them, and the whole process it takes. And there's just a clarity, and I don't have to guess about what I'm going to do or when I'm going to do it. Also, I feel like this is going to create less burnout because I'm able to not pay attention to just analytics and did this work, but I'm able to look at the system and it's based off of, am I succeeding in my system? Am I following what I'm doing or what I set out to do and completing it? And that's the gauge of succeeding and success. It's not necessarily the analytics side by itself. So that's really the shift that I'm trying to get in my channel. And I don't want to make up hacks or just talk about some of these quick fixes or anything like that. I want to be real. And so I'm bringing you guys along with this, building this system, and hopefully it can benefit you as well. So if you're ready to build your creator system, hit subscribe, follow the channel, leave comments below on what you're building and what things that you use as a system already, if you have one. And I will see you guys in the next video.